So, at nauseum, we talked about handling adversity. And I told the boys, I'm like, that's the one thing I don't know. I mean, we're putting you into a lot of difficult situations. I mean, our strength program in the summertime is brutal. I mean, like, they have nightmares about hearing hand down because that's a sprint we're doing, hand down. And so, but you just can't simulate a game. And so, it wasn't ideal that they went down and scored on us right away, but it's what we needed to see how we're going to respond. And, I thought, 2 turnovers, we got to 0. You win the turnover battle by 1, you usually win 70% of your games. And I thought the offense, and Peter made some big plays. The offense, was clicking along. You could see early on, missing some tackles. You only can tackle so much in preseason, before you worry about injuries. And I thought we tackled enough, but you could see that some open field tackling we were not, great at. But as the game went on, I think the guys got some confidence, and I thought we played well in all 3 phases. So, anytime you go on the road and play, another FBS team, it's always a challenge. And I thought our guys really rose to the challenge. I could tell they were really excited to play. I could tell they were so locked in. Again, you just don't know when they get smacked in the mouth how they're going to handle that, and they handled it. We have fun, like you heard in there. We'll be doing a little chant and playing the fight song, and the old man will dance every time we win because it's special when you win. And I think they're a little surprised at the moves I have. I still have some stuff going on. So didn't break out any splits because I'm not ready for that. I just got to keep on working out. But we'll see as the season goes on. But no, it was a great way to start off the season, going on the road and getting a victory. And, looking forward to watching the tape tomorrow and start getting the boys ready for the next game. So, questions?
How big was, of all the defensive plays, how big was Ben's there? Because if they score there, they're within 11 at that point.
Exactly. And so I was a little concerned early that, when they just marched the ball right down, we had 2 shots at interceptions and we had 2 penalties. And then, like I said, and we talk about this all the time, a play can change the game. And, that's why you just keep on playing every play, just lock in. We talked a lot about laser focus. That's how I left the locker room with them. I said, I want laser focus. And that's playing one play individually, and then don't scoreboard watch, just worry about the next play. You're not going to have success if you're scoreboard watching. If things don't go your way and you're looking at that thing, you're worried about what the final outcome is. We can't do that. We got to worry about just playing the next play. I thought they listened. These guys want to win. They're hungry to win. And, it's the old Google me. They figured out that, I've won in the past, and they've been great. I mean, they've been, really okay, coach, what are we doing next? And so I think, they saw the staff I brought in, and I think they felt, and, from the strength staff to the recruiting staff to the coaches, and I think they felt really good that, okay, we're going to trust these guys. And that was my whole talk yesterday, was about trust, about, we got to trust each other. And we're going to go through some stuff. We're going to go through some adversity because it's football. I mean, it's never perfect. And so, again, at nauseam, we talked about this thing, and the boys responded, which was awesome. So.
As much as you talked in the preseason about how well Evan and Giovanni played, did Evan take it to a level that you hadn't really seen that much?
Yeah, that's one of the reasons. That's a great question. That's one of the reasons why it was difficult to say, hey, Evan's going to start, and he's going to get this many series, and Giovanni. Because sometimes in the flow of the game, you just we got to play this guy. And you could just see, Evan has, I think when we got here, we said, okay, Evan's serviceable, but can you win consistently with him? And he got better and better and better. And so after a good spring, you go, okay, we're going to bring in a guy, compete with him. And if he's our number 2, we'll be really happy. Well, he keeps on getting better and better, and really has responded to Tyler's coaching. And, again, and also Giovanni played so well in those scrimmages, and all of a sudden caught up to him as an even situation. So I think, you saw a lot of courage to, you've got a game and you're moving along pretty well, and you still put Giovanni in. I think that's how committed we felt to Giovanni, though, too, because we can't lose him. We need both those guys. It's going to be a long season. And, but no, Evan played outstanding. And I like Peter. Peter steps up and makes a couple big plays. I heard Tyler on the headset when the ball came out of the hand. It's like, oh no, touchdown, and because the ball was just a little bit in front, and Peter Royce made that one-handed catch and made a bunch of plays. So, yeah, some guys made some plays that needed to step up and make some plays, and that's why you won a ball game.
The goal line stand and then Ducker going 55 yards.
Yeah.
Did that give you the momentum that you feel?
Absolutely. I think that was huge. I mean, again, the defense had been challenged early, and they had to do something. And making that goal line stand and then us popping one, I thought was good. And I thought also I think we did a good job managing the clock at the end of the half. To make sure we got. I know Tyler and I were going back and forth. We didn't want to give them too much time, if we scored. And so he and I were going back and forth. And that's when I'll get involved with Tyler. I generally stay out of his business in terms of play calling, but he and I will talk through, like, we were going to go for it on fourth downs and not kick the field goal because how many points? Like, we're doing the numbers together. Like, okay, is 3 really worth it? No, 7 puts it away. So he and I, do a lot of that during the course of a game, talking back and forth. I thought we did a really good job for the first time doing this together. We did a really good job managing the clock at the end there, at the end of the half.
Did you talk about
coach so we can roll in some players?
You talked about the defensive line. They started getting pressured
Yeah.
in that second
Yeah.
quarter, back-to-back sacks. Cameron kept dealing pressure. What kind of changed there?
Well, a couple things. First of all, we're really deep there. I mean, when you take over a team that's 3-9, that's the last thing you expect is to have a really good defensive line. But that was a group that made a pact to stay. That was a group that said, we're going to get this fixed. And so, having the depth in the defensive line, and it warmed up a little bit. I mean, we're in Massachusetts in, September. It's supposed to be 45 degrees out. I lived up here for a while, I know. I think one of our strengths is our defensive line. There's no question.
What you kind of see from Georgia? It's like Evan kept kind of like feeding the ball, got first down on the third down, had 7, 8 catches there. What you kind of see from him?
Well, I mean, training camp, he and Chase, have been unbelievable. They've made us different, So I think, going into the season, we were like, after spring ball, we felt we were one team. Then after we started doing OTAs and we saw how good those wide receivers were, like, okay, we're a different team now. And so that's when we started developing some more of the passing game. And like I said, those two guys, they're scary out there. They can make plays. And it's a great credit to our recruiting department and Clayton Barnes, because either we're getting guys who are low value, undervalued, some of those guys coming off the fender bender, because they maybe had a little tweak here, a little tweak there, maybe people aren't invested in them like we're going to invest in them, and we really changed our offense by adding those two guys. So Colin and JoJo really have been a huge addition for us.
Any idea on Hay?
Yeah.
Hay's style and Hay's status.
I think we think it's pretty minor. It's like cramping and things like that. I think we'll be fine. So we good?
Okay.
Thanks, guys.